Claude Plugins, the plain version. This is part 4 of 8 in our Claude ecosystem series, and as always, this is an independent walkthrough, not sponsored by or affiliated with Anthropic. A new analyst joins the team on Monday morning. She needs to acquire the exact AI workflow the rest of the team relies on. This timeline of isolated nodes shows the friction she faces. Getting that entire stack onto her machine used to be a half-day struggle. You had to manually hunt down documentation to install 7 individual skills, one by one, and track down the right API keys to configure 4 separate tool connectors. Now, achieving that exact identical setup takes 30 seconds. Here is how that works. We'll look at the exact architecture of a plugin, outline the 3 habits to deploy them, and run the math on the return you get from a standardized setup. Let's start with what a plugin actually is. A skill is a single workflow, one strict set of instructions. A plugin is the distribution envelope that wraps around them. Looking at this container, you can see the payload nested inside. A single plugin bundles up pre-configured skills, MCP server connectors that link Claude to your external tools, custom slash commands, and automated hooks. The rule to remember is, plugins ship, skills run. This removes the burden of complex AI configuration from the individual user. The setup becomes a one-time packaging task for the organization. Habit 1 is Browse. This layout represents the default Discover tab inside Claude's UI. It serves as your gateway to Anthropic's official marketplace, which ships with curated bundles already set up for code review, design system enforcement, and brand voice tasks. If you need a wider selection, you can expand that catalog instantly. Running one command line adds the open-source community marketplace to your view. Habit 2 is Install. Executing the /plugin/install command drops the entire bundled toolkit straight into your live session, bypassing manual configuration entirely. The effects happen immediately. Every MCP tool connector is armed without inputting individual API keys, and custom slash commands are ready to type. Look at this junction. When you install, you make a critical choice regarding scope. Path A is personal scope, locking the tool to your single laptop for day-to-day use. Path B routes into a .cloud/skills folder. This is project scope, embedding the tool directly into a shared code repository. Utilizing that project scope is the mechanism that takes AI from a fleeting chat and turns it into a permanent version-controlled asset for a team. Habit 3 is Build. This is the team maneuver, where a company bundles its most recurring weekly routines into one proprietary artifact. A concrete blueprint looks like this. You combine your slide building skill and your specific code review protocol, alongside secure connectors for your specific corporate Slack and Figma environments. You then host that custom bundle in a private GitHub repository, represented by this secure vault. You have functionally created an exclusive internal app store for your organization. Day 1 onboarding becomes frictionless. A new hire executes exactly 2 command lines to attach that private repository and pull down the corporate toolkit. This centralized one-line installation architecture stops skill drift cold. It guarantees every single team member operates with identical capabilities and guardrails from their first hour. Let's measure the cost of the old manual setup across a growing department. Half a day of lost productivity for every new hire, multiplying every time the team expands. That 4-hour configuration nightmare collapses into a 30-second automated deployment. That time savings compounds. It compresses onboarding schedules, but more importantly, it ships the company's collective knowledge as a versionable, auditable artifact. Plugins fit into a broader architectural context. They are the 4th foundational pillar of the modern AI workflow. The first pillar is projects, your cloud memory. The second pillar is skills, housing your recurring logic. Third is Claude Code, the doorway to local files. The entire structure is capped and locked together by plugins, scaling the stack to your organization. We will be covering artifacts and MCP in the coming weeks. For now, understand that plugins are the exact point where AI transitions from a single-player utility into operationalized enterprise infrastructure.